Charles de Gaulle was not nearly as famous as the other figures of World War II, such as Winston Churchill, Adolf Hitler, or Franklin Roosevelt. However, that certainly doesn't mean his story isn't worthwhile. De Gaulle was very courageous, as he proved again and again while serving in the French military during World War I. He was wounded 3 times, made 5 escape attempts from prisoner of war camps, was pronounced missing and presumed dead on 2 occasions, having no fewer than 14 assassination attempts made on him post-war. After his closest assassination attempt, he dismissively told his trembling prime minister, "Those people shoot like pigs." When the French were forced to surrender to the Nazis in the beginning of World War II, they were obviously very demoralized, but their junior war minister, Charles de Gaulle, refused to surrender, flying off to London in a tiny biplane sent by Winston Churchill. Upon reaching London, he gave a motivating speech to the French over the BBC. While few were around to hear it, millions were around to read it the next day, including many French, as the French press wasn't yet censored. Suddenly, this little-known politician became a symbol of French resistance to the Nazis. He then proceeded to create his own little Free French army from scratch. He wasn't told about D-Day until 48 hours before it, as he was seen as more of a liability than an asset by other world leaders. Either way, his contributions were small, with only 0.004% of soldiers killed on D-Day being Free French. Despite his negligible support, he begged for his troops to be let into now freed Paris first. While this infuriated everyone, it was necessary, as there had to be a myth of French self-liberation asserted to keep French self-esteem high for the rest of the war. And no one was as perfect for asserting such myth as de Gaulle himself. After the war, de Gaulle continued to demand glory for France. By showing immense ingratitude to his allies, he got France a zone of Berlin to occupy, a secured permanent council seat on the UN, as well as treatment as one of the victors of World War II. Later, de Gaulle even became president of France. While he was petty, ferociously sarcastic, and terribly arrogant, de Gaulle was still a great man, without whom the future of France, and maybe even the future of the whole modern world, could have turned out very different.